Hello everyone and welcome to the first news episode of David Display's Miscellaneous Behavior. This is where we cover everything that is not directly toy and action figure related. And this is a big one. Terminator is coming to Netflix in an animated series. So with all of these videos, I always feel like, just get to the point. So I'm going to first of all just read out all the official news, and then after that we'll do the editorializing. So if you already know the news, then you can skip to the timestamp that I put in the description. But if you want to hear the facts, here are the facts. This news comes courtesy of Variety.com. A Terminator animated series has been ordered at Netflix. As the project is still in early stages, plot details are being kept under wraps. Netflix has partnered with Skydance on the series, with Skydance having produced the last two Terminator films. The series is produced in partnership with Production IG, who Netflix has had a production line deal with since 2018. Production IG's last anime credits include Ghost in the Shell, Be the Beginning, and Eden of the East. Terminator is one of the most iconic sci-fi stories ever created and has only grown more relevant to our world over time, said John Dederian, Netflix Vice President of Japan and Anime. The new animated series will explore this universe in a way that has never been done before. We can't wait for fans to experience this new chapter in the epic battle between machines and humans. Mattson Tomlin will serve as showrunner and executive producer on the series. Tomlin most recently wrote the Netflix original film Project Power and worked on the screenplay for Matt Reeves' upcoming film The Batman. Anyone who knows my writing knows I believe in taking big swings and going for the heart, Tomlin said. I'm honored that Netflix and Skydance have given me the opportunity to approach Terminator in a way that breaks conventions, subverts expectations, and has real guts. News of the Terminator Anime series comes as Netflix is making an increased push into the anime arena. In addition to several such projects that have already been launched, such as Castlevania and Blood of Zeus, the streamer also has several others in the works. Among those is a Splinter Cell series from John Wick writer Derek Kolstad and an anime spin-off of the Zack Snyder Netflix film Army of the Dead. So, those are the facts. Let's get to the editorializing, at which point everyone switches off. Everyone knows who knows me. That was such a blanket statement. Everyone knows. I'm a huge Terminator fan. I have been all my life. Ever since I first saw the first trailer to Terminator 2 back in 1990, I just imprinted on that like a baby bird. At 10 years old, I was thinking, this is the coolest thing I have ever seen. So I managed to convince my mum to rent the original Terminator for me. And again, watching that, I was just blown away and mesmerized. Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course, was a superhero come to life, a superhuman come to life, and a metal robot skeleton that's going around trying to kill people. Oh my God, it's so just the perfect formula for entertainment. So that's why it's so tragic that since 1991, no one seems to have quite got it right. There have been so many iterations of the Terminator, but nothing really iconic. We've had so many sequels, so many attempted reboots, each one wanting to be more grandiose than the last, each one wanting to put their stamp and go, this is the new proper Terminator sequel. And they always fall short in more and more increasing kind of ways. Terminator 3 was a lazy parody of Terminator. Terminator Salvation had some really good points, but it was kind of pretentious and the third act just fell off a cliff. And then, of course, you had Genesis, which was just the worst popcorn garbage that it felt like fan fiction. And then speaking of fan fiction, we had Dark Fate, which was just hot garbage again. It was the perfect example. All of these sequels are the perfect example of the Ian Malcolm quote from Jurassic Park, where he says, "You stood on the shoulders of giants to create something as quickly as possible." It's like you didn't acquire the knowledge yourself, so you don't know what to do with it. And that was it. The people who make all the extra Terminator ancillary stuff, they didn't make the originals, so they didn't have any tie to it. They didn't have any of the knowledge that went into making something good. The last one kind of sort of had James Cameron attached, but you kind of feel like he was just taking a paycheck on that one. It doesn't feel like anyone who made it really knew what to do with it, and it showed. And then there are a couple of little glimmers here and there. So there were some Terminator games that were pretty good, but nothing groundbreaking. There was a Sarah Connor Chronicles, which was, I don't, honestly, actually, I won't cast judgment. I never watched it. I haven't seen the Sarah Connor Chronicles, but again, from everything I've kind of heard, like, it's not bad, but not great. It's certainly not like essential Terminator viewing. So we're trying a new medium now. And the bottom line is, I'm just so happy that we have anything from Terminator, because after the dumpster fire that was Dark Fate and its critical reception, it felt like this franchise was going to be put out to pasture. And that would have been so sad, because I love the Terminator. I always have. This has always been my thing. It's just, as a kid growing up, I was obsessed with this. So much so that I eventually got a job playing the Terminator in a stunt show in Japan. Like, that was my childhood dream come to life, being cast as the Terminator. It doesn't get any cooler than that. So it was such a shame to see the franchise itself, especially on the big screen, fall down a cliff. Basically. So to see that Netflix is going to try and resurrect this as an anime series, oh, that's got my attention now, because there's so much you can do. And there are so many different ways that you can take this story. And that's the really, really exciting thing. Where are you going to set it? What time frame? What time period? Because you could do anything. You could do the far off future war that we always see, that's black and charred and post-apocalyptic with neon lasers everywhere. That would be cool as hell. Or you could have it like a retro piece, like set in the 80s, do time travel, go back, rewrite the story. Because a great thing about an anime series as opposed to a feature film is that you kind of take it as read that the anime series is not canon, if there is even such a thing as canon anymore, since every single Terminator movie rewrites the last one. So the only Terminator canon, real canon, is 1 and 2. I think people generally sort of accept that. Terminator Dark Fate was like, this is the official third sequel, or this is the official follow-up to Terminator 2. Yeah, is it though? It is until the next one, because that's just the way that it works. So I'm happy for Terminator Anime to go completely off the reservation if they want. As long as it has robot skeletons with great big guns, I'm down like a clown, and I am gonna watch. But if they actually do bring back characters like Sarah Connor, Kyle Reese, John Connor, I'm in there for that. That would be great, because also we can have a young Sarah Connor. We can have a young John Connor, who we don't have to pull these poor actors out of their, 50s and 60s and make them, try and do stunts and look believable doing all of these crazy things. We don't have to bring poor old Arnold Schwarzenegger around to tell him to puff his chest out one more time. It's like, no. We can do whatever we want. We can have 1,000 Arnold Schwarzeneggers from 1984 looking badass, getting the flesh blown off them. That's going to look incredible. They can go in any direction they want, and I'm so here for it. I would love a completely original take on it. If they could pick up straight from T2 if they wanted, or they could just set it in a completely new thing where it's like, hey, this is a world and it's slightly in the future and Terminators have just been invented for the military and we're off. What's going to happen now? They're probably going to run amok and people have to go and stop them and they have to go and kill people. And I pretty much just described Blade Runner there, but I know I would pay for that. I would pay my Netflix subscription to see that, or I would jump on my ex-girlfriend 5 times removed Netflix account and go and watch it, because that's what freeloading boyfriends are for. But that would be such a great way to keep the franchise alive, because I'm done with movie sequels. Like, we've had literally Terminator 3, Genesis, Salvation, Dark Fate, all of which have been bad to terrible, to be honest. Salvation, again, had some okay points, but to see a new version is just so exciting. And the fact that the franchise is still alive, that's what gets me pumped. That's what gets me really excited. It still exists, because Terminator, much like Aliens and Predator, they need a hit. We need something to get younger people into these franchises, because these franchises are all living off the steam of what they did in the 80s. Like, that's it. So I don't know anyone over the age of 30 who really has an affection for these projects, because then they didn't grow up with them. You know, someone who was born in the 90s after Terminator 2 came out, after Aliens came out, the original Predator, it's like, that's not their nostalgia. This is our nostalgia. So unless we do something new that's going to make younger people consider this their franchise, their nostalgia, it's just going to get frittered away and going to be forgotten as a relic from the past. And to be honest, with the sequels we've had, that's kind of what it deserves, to be honest. You know, just let them rest. If you're not going to do anything new and good, then just let it go. Hopefully, this is something new. This is something good and a new medium. Anime can be so creepy, and I want to see creepy. I want to see scary Terminators, and that would be cool. And Netflix are not afraid of taking risks with these things, you know? So if we could actually have a dark, scary Terminator story in anime form, oh, God dang, that's going to be good. Will it happen? I don't know. Well, it will happen. We're going to get this series, unless something catastrophic happens, which you never know. But hopefully this is going to happen. But what form it will take, we don't know. But that's my little basic wish list there. Guys, what do you think about this? Are you excited for this? Do you not care in the slightest? What do you want to see in a Terminator animated series? Comment below, let me know. And until next time, guys, keep displaying model behavior. I need a new sign-off now, because this isn't model behavior. Keep displaying miscellaneous behavior. I'll workshop that.